The inaugural PWHL season is around the corner, and we've got everything you need to know covered right here. Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by Mike Ganter of the Toronto Sun, who is covering the PWHL. And Mike, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, New York, Boston, and Minnesota are the teams. The season kicking off January 1st, with each team playing a 24-game schedule. First off, how is the PWHL different from previous professional women's hockey leagues?
Well, the biggest difference is the staying power that this league will have, and it's all based on, or it's all because of the money backing it. The Mark Walton Group, I mean, his family owns. They've got a share in the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've got a share in Chelsea in the English Premier League. They've committed as much money as it's going to take to get this thing going. I mean, they've got a family worth of $23.8 billion, so it's not like they're going to run out of money. And I mean, I talked to the coaches, I talked to the players, I talked to management. Everybody, to a person, says that's the biggest difference. This league has legs because we have that backing.
Yeah, that is definitely huge and something that previous leagues have not had. So we've got an original six of their own here with 3 Canadian teams and 3 American squads. How were these teams formed?
All right, so each team was allowed to select 3 foundational players, and more or less they became locals. Like most of them were picked locally. I mean, I know like Minnesota took, or sorry, let's start with Toronto. Toronto went with Renata Fast, Blair Turnbull, and Sarah Nurse. I mean, 3 Canadian Olympians, 3 players who are very familiar with head coach Troy Ryan and GM Gina Kingsbury. So you start with those 3. Each team got 3, and they're basically, that's the core of your group. After that, there was a draft, and everybody who had graduated college was eligible. If you're still in college, you were ineligible for the draft. So there's some younger talent out there that you'll even seen in the rivalry series recently that's not in the league yet. That's because they're still playing NCAA hockey. Beyond that, there were after the draft, the opportunity was there to pick up free agents, and a lot of the free agents ended up making teams just based on their camps and what they did at a really successful preseason camp in Utica, New York for the entire league. They were up there for 5 days, and they got a lot of work in and figured out a lot of things about a league that's in a real hurry up mode, trying to get ready for after basically a 6-month start.
So you mentioned some of the players that will be in the PWHL, a lot of national team players from Team Canada and Team USA. How far does that extend beyond to, let's say, international teams that could be international players that could be playing in this league?
Yeah, right now there's a dozen international players who are signed to contracts and will be on opening day rosters. I think that's only going to grow. It's just there's still a wait and see. Like there's Swedish national players who are over there, have their own league, and are quite comfortable. They're making good money. I mean, the whole league in Sweden, they're not making great money, but the top end, they're making enough that they don't have to jump right away. They can sit back and wait. And I think that's what's happening. So you're going to see more of the women coming over from Sweden, more of the women coming over from Finland. I mean, there's a Japanese player playing for Ottawa this year already. I mean, it's just the beginning, and I think it's going to get quite a bit bigger. Beyond that, there's got to be, like, as the league grows, like when you get into year 2 and year 3, you're going to see, like, they're going to have too many players, and you're going to have somewhere where you can sort of stash and store players. So I think the feeling is right now that hopefully the draft will expand to include maybe even the NCAA players, and then you can leave them in their NCAA environment, let them develop there, but know that they're part of your system, and then you've got a chain going, and you can kind of keep it, you keep the pipeline flowing.
And finally, it's just city names and generic uniforms so far for year number 1. Why is that the case, and when will it change?
Well, basically that's logistics. It's just, like I said, they started this whole thing in June, and they were told by Commissioner Gary Bettman of the NHL and various other high level executives that 6 months is not enough time to get this going. The women, a lot of the women had already missed out on 4 years of hockey. So, I mean, you put that into someone's career context. If your career is 12 years, that's a third of your career gone. So they weren't prepared to wait any longer. I mean, it could have been a year and a half build up to this, but that would have been another year off of their careers. And they just said, look, we'd rather put up with a few inconsistencies and maybe some, some second guessing from the public in order to get this done. And one of those things is the sweaters. I mean, it's a full year to actually get a team name, trademark it, do all the legal work, and then actually produce the sweaters. So they're not those jerseys aren't going to probably be out. I don't think you're going to see them in year one. I think that'll be a year two thing for now. So you'll just see and they don't want to commit to a team name because if you're not going to commit to a logo, why have the name? Why not take the year, figure it out, find out what the market wants, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, as you said, there's a lot of support internally and externally for this league. It should be an exciting first season, and we'll have all of your PWHL coverage right here at Postmedia.